How much louder do you want to talk?
I speak loudly.
How much
because
louder
of
do you want to
PTSD.
talk, Marine?
Listen, sir.
Everybody, this Marine wants to be heard.
I can't
Come on down here.
I do want to be heard because I am personally affected. Not race bait. This was genuine.
Do not.
It is not.
American people.
This is how the American people feel. We do not want to die for Israel.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
Mr. Message to Iran in this moment.
Don't.
I'm gonna bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care.
Hey, hold on. This shit ain't funny. It ain't funny, but it is.
Alright, so I log on to the internet again. This absolute dumpster fire we all pretend is society. And I swear every day it feels less like the internet and more like Satan's waiting area. Just a non-stop circus of snowflakes and MAGA weirdos, trolls, people who've completely lost their humanity and damn minds. And today might actually be the worst example yet, because the first thing going viral is a video of a US Marine veteran getting his arm broken and inside a Senate hearing while protesting the Iran war. Not in some battlefield somewhere, not overseas, he's inside the United States Capitol.
No one wants to fight for Israel.
His hand. Oh, his hand.
Sir. Let go of your hand. Let go of the door. Let go of the door. The senator broke his hand. A sitting U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine. Sir. Control your Senate. Arm stuck in the door. Okay, sir. A U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine. Hand stuck. A U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine. You're a coward. Punk. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Why'd you say that? Senator? Go fuck yourself. You were a shit seal. That's why you got kicked out. Fat ass.
Everybody sit down, please. Sit down, please. Everybody sit down, please. Everybody sit down, please.
I'm getting out of here.
That's fine. Everybody sit down, please. Is your hand okay? Okay.
No, it's not.
This is disgusting. Disgusting.
Just pull it out.
First of all, what is this dingleberry doing? Looking stupid. Put him down. Why are you pulling him like that? Why are you pulling his legs? What kind of awareness does this guy have? And he's supposed to be a cop? Are you even paying attention? Why are you pulling this man? What are we doing here? Put him down. You're a dork. And that's me. That's me right there. That's me looking confused. Like, what is going on? Why are we here? What are we doing? And what the fuck is this guy doing? Who is this guy? Why is he rubbing his head like this? Oh! You are a freaky dude. This is a freaky guy. This is a gooner. What are you doing? You guys are not escaping these files, like, at all. Why are you caressing this bald-headed man like this? And then you got this dude. He wanted the smoke. He was ready. He was like, hey, what's up?
You're a coward. Punk. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Why'd you say that? Senator?
He called him the cat. He said, you the gushy.
Go fuck yourself. You were a shit seal. That's why you got kicked out. Fat ass.
Called him a fat ass. That's the funniest part, is when a dude who's also a little husky calls you a fat ass, you gotta be a fat ass. That's a different kind of insult, because now you can't even argue with him. If another big guy clocks your weight, that's like one pig looking at another pig like, damn, bro, you big. At that point, you gotta sit there and reflect just for a second, like, damn. If he knows he's big and he's still calling me fat, then I might actually be a fat ass. That's the kind of insult that hurts a little more because it came from somebody in the same weight class. The guy's name is Brian McGinnis. I think I'm saying that right. If I didn't, my bad, I butcher names. He stood up during a Senate Armed Services hearing and started protesting U.S. involvement in the Iran conflict and support for Israel. Man, the Capitol Police rushed his ass, and a sitting U.S. Senator, Tim Sheehy, what kind of name is that? Sheehy. Tim Sheehy is a crazy name. That's a, man, your last name's ass, gang. Well, anyway, his hating ass jumped in to help restrain him. Next thing you know, they treating him like filth. They dragging him out. His arm gets caught in the doorway, and according to reports, his arm is literally broken during the scuffle. Police say he resisted the arrest. Why the fuck was he being arrested for? Okay. People in the room are screaming that a senator just broke a Marine's hand.
His hand. Oh, his hand.
Let go of the door. Let go of the door. Can you
The
what?
senator broke his hand. A sitting U.S. senator just broke the hand of a Marine.
And I'm sitting here thinking, this might be the most insane reflection of American culture I've seen. It ironically, the same country that loves screaming support the troops suddenly finds a Marine getting dragged out of Congress is low-key hilarious. Not that he's getting dragged, but you guys try to tell us to support the troops. How are we going to support the troops when you guys clearly don't support them? And that alone would have been enough internet stupidity for one day. But somehow it gets worse. Somehow the official White House says, hold my beer. Yeah, the White House account, you know, the place that's supposed to represent the leadership of the United States, you know, democracy, diplomacy, the image of the country. They decided to post one of the most disrespectful tweets I've seen in a long while.
We might be living in the corniest timeline of all time. I don't think the United States has been cornier than right now, gang. We are in the corniest timeline ever. Like, corny.
Whoop they do. And I'm just sitting here wondering, how the hell did we get here? Because between Marines getting dragged out of Congress and the government posting war footage, like they're a Twitch streamer trying to make it, the whole thing is starting to look less like a country and more like the comment section of the internet running the government.
Northside bitch, I done came with the fully on me. Talking like he don't when he not, I bully homie. Buy the butter guns, rock a bony, put that toolie on him. Bitch, throw that ass in a circle. 2 straps on me every day, bitch, I'm Urkel. Let a nigga throw the deuce down, I'ma hurt you. They ain't outside, them little niggas got a curfew.
That look like a kid, look. Okay.
And these silly, dumb courtesy of the red, white, and blue. No, don't bring us into that shit. You do that on your own. We don't want no parts in that shit. Leave us out of it, please.
Kablow, kaboom, kablow, kaboom.
There is no way in hell. No way in hell. I can't believe. First of all, can we talk about how absolutely insane it is that the White House, the literal government, the government of the US of motherfucking A, logged on to Twitter like a 14-year-old esports kid and dropped a Call of Duty montage of real war. And I ain't even exaggerating. The United States government woke up, grabbed footage of airstrikes, slapped some dramatic edits on it like it was a trick shot compilation and posted it. They're like, yeah, guys, check out this sick kill streak. Bruh, what timeline are we living in? This is not 2009. First of all, this is not 2009. No one gives a f. Who still watches trick shots? Whoop they do. Whoop they do. And the sick, weird, ironic, or moronic, whichever it is, because sometimes I'm trying. It's just the fact that this whole video shows just how tone deaf the United States can be. Because all the beats they could have picked, they used Bonfire by Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover. Which is wild once you actually understand what that video is about. The Bonfire video isn't just some random hype track. The whole story is actually a horror story, a ghost story about a black camper who got lit at an all-white camp. And then the camp rewrites what happens, so it becomes a spooky campfire legend instead of confronting the racism behind it. Gambino wakes up in the woods with a noose around his neck, coughing up blood, realizing he's just been dropped from a tree. He wanders the woods and finds a bunch of campers sitting around a bonfire while a counselor is telling a scary story about some mysterious killer. Gambino sees someone walking toward the fire with a noose and a knife and tries to warn them, but nobody can see or hear him because he's literally a ghost. He's already gone. He's out of there. When the killer jumps out, it turns out it's just a prank for the story. Everyone laughs, and Gambino realizes the horror story they're telling is actually his death turned into entertainment. Ironic, right? Then the video loops back to the tree with the broken noose. Like he's stuck reliving it every time the story gets told. So when you actually know that context, it makes the whole thing feel even crazier, because the message of the video is about how racist violence gets rewritten sanitized, and turned into entertainment so people don't have to deal with the reality of what happened. And here we are in 2026 watching the government post a flashy war montage with the exact song in the background. Like, what the fuck? You guys are tone deaf, not just because it was war footage edited like a video game, but because the symbolism is wild when you think about it. The original song's video is literally about violence being turned into a story people can casually sit around and watch. And now you've got real bombs and explosions being edited into something that looks like content for the timeline. Whether they understood that shit or not almost doesn't even really matter. The whole thing just ends up feeling bizarre and uncomfortable, because when real destruction starts getting packaged like entertainment, it starts slowly looking like the exact cycle Gambino's video was criticizing in the first place.
You wanna see me do it again? You wanna see me do it again? You wanna see me do it again?
I swear to God, this is the first war in human history where the government is literally trying to get YouTube clout. Like they're trying to join FaZe Clan or something.
Oh shit, here we go again. Oh shit, here we go again. Oh shit, here we go again. Oh shit, here we go again.
Whoop they do. And imagine explaining this to someone in 1945, like, hey, yeah, so the government posted a highlight reel and shit. You know, bombs with gamer graphics, man, it was so sick. He did a 360 no-scope spin. And the craziest part is the tone of the whole situation, because it's not even serious propaganda. It's the exact editing style of a teenager who just discovered CapCut. Fast cuts, dramatic music, explosion, cut to another explosion, drone footage, another explosion, really acting like it's Modern Warfare 3. No, it's not. No, this is modern reality. What the you got the White House out here acting like they unlocked a UAV kill streak. Next thing you know, the Pentagon gonna tweet out enemy team eliminated, plus 300 XP. Honestly, if you guys would just take it to a Call of Duty match and squab it out in the gulag, we don't even have to be going through this shit.
Wake up, Daddy Son.
Welcome home, son.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
What will you do without freedom?
Mavericks inbound.
You can't conceive of what I'm capable of!
Finishing this fight.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
I am the danger.
Time to find out.
Maximum effort. Finish him. Here it comes. Now end this!
Flawless victory.
Y'all realize somebody in the government office had to approve this? Think about that for a second. Some dude in a suit sat in a room. All right, guys, how do we make war look cooler to these kids, to the youth? And some dumbass intern raised his hand and was like, what if we edit it like Call of Duty? And honestly, it ain't even hard to believe, for real. The government is extremely strategic with their messaging. They know what they doing. When they post these quote unquote cool looking clips edited like something that FaZe Clan or a big gaming creator would upload, it feels very intentional, obviously, right? The style is completely identical to the way popular gamers edit highlight reels, and it makes war look like something exciting instead of something serious. To a very young, impressionable person who already spends hours playing Call of Duty, the imagery starts to look familiar. It subtly sends the message, you play this every single day. Imagine doing something like this in real life. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. The presentation makes military operations look like a high energy action highlight instead of the reality of what war actually involves. And the timing matters. Military recruitment numbers have been struggling in recent years. compared with past decades, especially among younger generations who are more skeptical about joining. When you combine that reality with highly stylized footage that looks almost identical to video game clips, mixed with a little bit of humor, talking shit. I mean, the only thing that's missing is someone teabagging somebody, which I wouldn't be shocked if they did that in the future. It just starts to feel less like neutral communication and more like an attempt to make the military look exciting again. Because when real warfare is edited with the same pacing, the same aesthetic as gaming montages, it blurs that line between entertainment and reality. It raises concerns about whether those visuals normalize violence or make it easier for younger audiences to view war through the lens of a video game rather than as a real-world conflict with serious consequences. This is their way of tapping into the youth. Their old asses is trying to look cool to Gen Z and Gen A. They want the youth. They want the youth, so they're speaking the youth's language. I mean, it's obvious. Ain't no damn you. If they ain't trying to pay rent, they doing some TikTok dance. They don't care about this. Nobody asked the government to drop a war montage like it's 2009. It's not 2009 anymore. Ain't nobody paying attention to that. And then how dare they? How dare they name the Operation Epic Fury?
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it.
This is not real life. Operation Epic Fury. You hear how cringe and corny that is? That is not a military operation name. Operation Epic Fury. Who named it that? I picture this dude to look like one of those guys off of Hangover or a Seth Rogen movie. That legit sounds like the gamer tag of a 12-year-old who just learned how to scream into a headset, yelling and screaming racial slurs. Epic Fury 420 just joined the lobby type shit. That is not the name of something involving missiles and international diplomacy. Is this Fortnite? Like, what is going on? This is nothing but the government turning real human conflict into content. This is literally the Pentagon trying to farm engagement metrics. Imagine a war being run like social media analytics. That's insane. And then look at the optics, man. Look at the optics. Because at the same time all this is happening, people are talking about civilians dying, investigations, international outrage. And meanwhile, the government account is posting edits like, boom, mission success. Bro, this is not a gaming convention. This is real life. You can't drop a war montage like it's a FaZe Clan recruitment video. What the fuck are we doing? And it's the fact that whoever edited this shit clearly plays Call of Duty. You could tell. The pacing, the cuts, the dramatic pauses. This was not edited by a military strategist. This was edited by someone who has 2,000 hours in multiplayer. You know whoever made that video definitely yells GG's after every match. And what kills me is the government clearly thought this was going to make them look cool. They thought the youth would see it and be like, wow, the government is so badass. Instead, the internet looked at it and immediately said, why is the White House posting Call of Duty clips like a YouTube gaming channel? Did the White House just post COD? What timeline is this? We really live in a world where the official White House account is making Call of Duty nuke jokes. We live in a fucking simulation. Did I just witness a real life COD montage? Did I just watch a Call of Duty compilation with IRL footage posted on the official White House account? You got the literal government acting like they're trying to reach affiliate status on Twitch. This is crazy. I've said it before, the world is witnessing the most mentally ill, inept, immature, and utterly incompetent presidential administration in American history. Trump's circus of sociopaths appear to think wars and death are for their entertainment. The vast overwhelming majority of Americans disagree, especially those with children who will be forced to fight and die in this unnecessary war of our draft-dodging coward of a president.
Because the President of the United States of America is a fucking... And the Israelis gathered blackmail on him through Jeffrey for fucking decades, knowing that if they could get that into the fucking Oval, then they would finally get exactly what they have wanted for the past 47 years, which is to destroy Iran. That is the state of this fucking world.
Whoop they do. And honestly, I get why people are mad. I do. But the internet acting like it suddenly grew amnesia is crazy to me. Because let's not rewrite history. Trump didn't magically appear in office out of nowhere. The man won the 2024 election. And not some cartoon landslide, but he still won the Electoral College and the popular vote by a couple of million votes. So this whole everyone hates Trump now narrative is a little funny, because when I was scrolling through these Twitter streets during the campaign, the energy was the complete opposite. Their delusion was loud. And now they gotta face it, because every tweet was calling Biden and Harris soft. People were saying the Democrats were pushovers, saying they let other countries bully the United States, saying they were weak on foreign policy and wouldn't stand up for America.
I've been talking about World War III for a long time, and I don't want to make predictions because the predictions always come true. We're not going to make, but they are very close to global catastrophe. Now, war or the threat of war is raging everywhere, and the two incompetent people running our country, or what, I don't actually think they're even running it, are leading us to the brink of World War III, a war like no other. This is what the policies of weakness and appeasement have brought to the world. And as I've been saying for a long time, terrible things can happen. When you have incompetent leadership, really bad things can happen.
He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself. And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again, because they're so clear they can manipulate you with flattery and favors. That is why we understand that we have to have a president who is not consistently weak and wrong on national security, including the importance of upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
That's weak on national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168 different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. The leaders of other countries think that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent.
That was literally the entire campaign. So now suddenly everybody's shocked that the strongman president is doing strongman shit. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Because this is also where people don't understand how global alliances work. The United States almost never sits completely out of conflicts involving allies. We either support wars financially, meaning money, weapons, and equipment, or we support them physically with military presence. Sometimes both. Under Biden and Harris, the approach was mostly funding and supplying allies while trying to avoid putting large number of US troops directly into combat zones. This still cost plenty of money. It still meant the US was involved, but the strategy was basically support from the back line instead of putting American boots in the middle of the fight. And remember, you guys hated that. People hated that. The whole country hated it. That's why we got Trump. They complained every day about how much money was going overseas. People were saying that US was going into debt funding other countries. That was one of the biggest criticisms of that administration. Two things can very much be true. Yes, the US was sending a lot of aid, but that aid was also partly meant to keep American troops out of the direct fight. Now fast forward, you have the president that people voted for because he was supposed to be tough, aggressive, and not afraid to escalate. So now you're seeing a more aggressive approach, more military posture, more we'll handle it ourselves energy. Less emphasis on just writing checks and more emphasis on showing power. And suddenly people are acting surprised. Yeah, you can criticize it, that's completely fair. But what people can't do is pretend the campaign never happened. The entire argument for Trump was that he would be harder, tougher, and more confrontational than Biden or Harris. So when the hardline president starts to do hardline shit, you guys should not be shocked. at all. That's literally the brand people voted for. And you wonder why they look at us like we moronic, like we some dipshits. Imagine if other countries start doing this type of thing. Russia starts dropping a montage with dubstep. China's posting a cinematic edit with slow motion jets. World War III is gonna look like a YouTube gaming channel. The ill kill cam uploads. And then every country gonna compete for the best edit. And you know what the worst part is? The people running this stuff are like 80 years old, in diapers, senile and with dementia, like I said before. Literally can't breathe. They're one heartbeat away from flying away or having dinner with Satan himself. Wherever they're gonna go, they're one heartbeat away from it, one breath. And this is, and they ain't taking it seriously. They don't give a fuck. They about to die. Why would they give a fuck? They about to die anyway. So imagine this scenario. You got a bunch of old politicians sitting in a room watching this edit. Explosion, missile launch, dramatic music. And one of them goes, wow, this is really gonna connect with the youth. No, the young people ain't worried about that. They barely could afford something to eat. Nobody asked for the government war montages. No one asked that. No one will ever ask that. It just shows how weird modern politics has become. Everything is branding. Everything is marketing, even war. Because now, instead of just announcing operations like normal governments used to do, they're trying to make it a viral content. They continue to desensitize the youth, getting them used to seeing death. And that's eerie as fuck. And that's when you know the internet has officially broken society, because the White House saw a bunch of TikTok edits and gaming montages and thought, yeah, let's do that with real missiles. At this point, I'm just waiting for the next update. And honestly, the whole situation just proves one thing. The world is literally being ran by old white people who discovered the internet 5 minutes ago. Old ass, crusty, barely breathing, bad skin, no lotion ass mother. One of their kids showed them the old FaZe Clan channel, and they got inspired and impressed. They said, yeah, we actually could do that. We could do something like that, but in real life. And 10 minutes later, the White House dropped a Call of Duty highlight reel of real warfare, which is the most 2026 sentence I've ever said in my damn life. And everyone on the internet is we just have to sit here. We have to deal with this shit. We all looking at each other like, did the White House really just upload a kill streak montage? Yes, they did. And that might be the most dystopian thing I've ever seen. The government dropping a war montage like they're trying to go viral. What the fuck is we doing, man?